Well, the relationship hasn't quite gone as planned. The hope was that things would work out smoothly, but we want relationships to stay in excitement mode. That's following the desires of the flesh, the deceitful lusts, as the Bible would describe it. And if the performance of the partner, usually intimately, is satisfactory and satisfying, that will, for the most part, hold people in a relationship. But there's a mental aspect to all of this, and it's the mental aspect that brings people undone, because sex alone cannot hold a relationship unless it's a relationship that's agreed upon as solely supply. Intimate supply, narcissistic supply, and all the different layers that come with that, all the different levels of emotional supply. If people have come to this idea that that's the way to go, and the relationship won't go beyond that, then they'll get away with it for a time, and only for a time. Because the mind and its conscience, the conscience that we're given, starts to rebel against negligence. Although there are people with minds that are structured with different levels of morality and conscience, and these people act differently. Some people will go from casual relationship to casual relationship by circumstance, for one reason or another, throughout their lives. There's a use-by date that expires, and so they go through the healing process, usually, not always, or they just jump on to the next opportunity, intimate opportunity, and do the same cycle again. It's a cycle, a vicious cycle at that. So when people have this arrangement of supply, some people will have several forms of supply, several ways of supply, several different people giving them supply. And this only makes matters worse. Relationships approached solely as a means of supply, then there's all sorts of negative variations that come with that. And the variations, on the one hand, can be positive. It might suit the person to be that way. And then, on the other hand, it could be negative. And things don't work out the way they should, just on the basis of supply, because nobody likes to be used. And that's basically what the arrangement of intimate, emotional, whatever other sort of supply is. You're just being used. There's no positive end game. You're just open to be used until you're of no use. So, right along, you're of no value. You're just being consumed to meet the satisfaction of somebody else, and you're consuming them for the satisfaction of yourself to no end. So you can see the dangers in that. They're not investing it, there's no investment, there's no gain at the end. It's just a journey of supply. It's like eating food, digesting it, getting the nourishment out of it, and then going to the toilet, as it were, to get rid of it. That's all you are when you're supplying. You're being used. Your use is satisfying that person, and after the use, there's nothing left. That's it. You just supply. You're no different to what food becomes when it's finished with, dung. You're no different to that. You're just dung. There's no value. This is why marriage and these kind of things are instituted, because they work. You're building something together to bring value to each other. You're not just being used as supply and then thrown away like dung. So this brings us back to the golden rule, doesn't it? Love your neighbour as yourself. So if you're just being used as supply, if you're using somebody else as supply, that shows that there's not much value internally going on in the individuals. There's something missing. Relative to the values that really work. And unfortunately, this is contributing to the lack of lasting relationships, because the fabric, the foundational fabric and fibers that we need characteristically are undermined from the start, because a lot of children, many millions of children, are born out of wedlock into single mother, what ends up being single mother situations, where a child's being conceived solely out of the person being supplied. There's no love or anything. And of course, the consequences of this are dire, because then we've got a child growing up with one parent, or a parent and a stepmother or father, and right from the start, the identity of that person is sabotaged to a certain degree, because the way we're designed is to have two healthy parents that know how to parent in a healthy way and constructive way, to help us to be as wise and self-loving as possible. Out of that, then we go on to be an asset, not only to ourselves, but to the people around us. See, a lot of people think they're assets to everybody else, and they forget that you first need to be an asset to yourself. That's the golden rule. And it sounds selfish, doesn't it? But it's not. You have to have self-care first, and from out of that self-care, then, depending on where the Spirit leads you and how you believe that you are going to contribute to others, and that may not be your call. You may just have a career or something else. Whatever it is, at least you'll be whole, happy, and at peace as far as it depends on you within yourself.